Hello, I am Professor Shalini Sahay from EC Department, SIRT Bhopal. Today I am going to discuss the various network elements through this lecture. We can classify network elements into four types. The first, that is active and passive elements, bilateral and unilateral elements, linear and non-linear elements, lumped and distributed elements. Active and passive elements. The active elements have the capability to deliver average power greater than zero for infinite period of time to the connected devices, for example, ideal power source, battery, etc. The passive elements, it consume or dissipate the energy stored in the circuit, for example, resistor, inductor, and capacitor. Bilateral and unilateral. The bilateral elements have the same VI relationship for the current flow in either direction. Any conducting wire, that is resistor. Unilateral, for example, vacuum diodes, silicon diodes, rectifier, etc. In the unilateral elements, the current or the flows in either one direction. Therefore, they are called unilateral elements. Linear and non-linear. Linear elements have the same linear VI relationship, that is straight line passing through the origin. Linear elements obeys superposition theorem, for example, resistors. Nonlinear elements does not follow linear relationship between input and output, for example, SCR triac. Lumped and distributed elements. Lumped elements, which are small in size and simultaneous action take place for any given cause at same time of instant. Size is very small compared to the wavelength of the signal applied. For example, R, L, and C, that is resistance, inductor, and capacitor. They can be physically separable. Distributed elements, which are not electrically separable for any analytical purpose. For example, transmission line has its distributed RLC throughout its entire length. So these elements cannot be physically separable. The different passive parameters. There are three major passive parameters used in electrical circuits are resistors, inductor, and capacitor. Resistance, which we know that it follows the Ohm's law, and due to physical property of the material, collision of electrons with atoms of material take place. The flow of current is resisted by value R, which is equals to V is directly proportional to I, and this proportionality sign is replaced by a resistance R, that is known as the resistance. Inductance, when a wire of certain length is twisted into coil to form a basic inductor. When I, that is current, changes instantaneously, flux also changes. According to Faraday's law, some voltage is induced and it is given by V is equals to L dI by dt, rate of change of current with respect to time. Capacitance. It has two conducting surfaces separated by dielectric. It is the amount of charge a capacitor can store when a voltage is applied across it. So C is equals to Q upon V. Then types of network. A two-port network is a kind of four-terminal network or quadrupole. It is an electrical network or circuit or device with two pairs of terminals to connect to external circuits. For examples of circuit analyzed as two ports are filters, matching networks, transmission lines, transformers, and small signal models for transistor, such as hybrid pi model. There are two types of network. One is symmetrical network and other one is asymmetrical network. In a symmetrical network is a network if its input impedance is equal to its output impedance. Most often, but not necessarily, symmetrical networks are also physically symmetrical. A symmetrical network, it is a network if its input impedance is not equal to its output impedance. Thank you.